Welcome everyone. Today I am going to tell you something so shocking, so unbelievable, that you won't even believe it's real. This is not a movie, this is not fiction, but let me tell you, everything in this story is 100% true. This is not just a story, this is reality, a reality so terrifying that it will change the way you see the world. Imagine living in a place where you can't wear the clothes you want, you can't listen to the music you like, you can't even speak freely, even inside your own home. If you say one wrong word, you could disappear forever. If you don't cry at the leader's funeral, you could be sent to prison. If you try to leave, your whole family could be punished. Can you even imagine living like this? This is the terrifying reality of life in North Korea. Today, I will take you inside North Korea, into a world that is completely hidden from the rest of us. By the end of this story, you will feel shocked, heartbroken, and grateful for the freedom you have. But don't just watch the beginning, watch till the end, because only then will you truly understand everything. Now listen to me carefully, because this is the truth the world doesn't want you to know. Can you believe it? For over 70 years, just one family has controlled North Korea. It all started with Kim Il-sung, the first dictator. Then his son, Kim Jong-il, took over. Now his grandson, Kim Jong-un, rules the country. 3 generations of the same family have controlled 26 million people. They treat the country like their personal kingdom. They live in luxury, while the people starve. They create lies, while the people suffer. And, in most countries, when a baby is born, the parents decide everything. They choose the baby's name, what kind of life they want for their child, what school they will go to, and what job they might have in the future. But in North Korea, you do not get to choose anything. Everything is decided by the government from the moment you are born. The first thing that is decided for you is your songbun. Songbun is a ranking system. It is like an invisible rule that controls your entire life. If your family is close to the government and considered loyal, you get a high songbun. This means you can live in a good city, go to a better school, and have a better job. But if your family has a low songbun, you will suffer for your entire life. You will never be allowed to go to a good university. You will only get the worst jobs. You will be treated like a criminal, even if you did nothing wrong. And here's the most shocking part, your songbun is decided based on what your ancestors did, not what you did. If your grandfather was a soldier who fought for North Korea, you might get a good life. But if your grandfather was a businessman, a farmer, or if he ever said anything against the government, your entire family will be punished, even if you were not born at that time. There's no way to change your songbun. No matter how hard you work, you will never be able to improve your life. Now imagine this, being punished for something your great-grandfather did, even if you never met him. Can you believe that? Control over what you can wear. In most countries, people can wear whatever they want. Women can wear jeans, skirts, dresses, or even shorts. Men can grow their hair long, shave it off, or style it however they like. But in North Korea, your clothing is controlled by the government. Women must wear skirts that cover their knees. They are not allowed to wear jeans, short skirts, or tight clothes. If a woman is caught wearing a tight dress, she can be punished. And makeup? Forget about it. Women are not allowed to wear red lipstick because the government says it is a Western influence. There are only 50 approved haircuts for men and women. You cannot have any other style. If a man tries to grow his hair longer than the approved length, he will be stopped by the police. If a woman dyes her hair, she will be punished. Can you imagine that? Being arrested just for your hairstyle. One woman was caught wearing tight pants in the capital city. She was immediately arrested and sent to a re-education camp, where she had to do hard labor for months. Her crime? Wearing clothes that were too modern. This is not a joke. This is real life in North Korea. Food is one of the most basic human needs. In most countries, people can go to a supermarket and buy whatever they want. Even in poor countries, people have some choices. But in North Korea, food is strictly controlled by the government. Every family receives a fixed amount of food every month. This is called a ration. The amount of food you get depends on your songbun. If you have a high songbun, you might get rice, eggs, and some vegetables. But if you have a low songbun, you will only get corn and cabbage. Meat is a luxury that most North Koreans can never afford. A man who escaped from North Korea said that when he was a child, his family received only 3 kilograms of rice per month. This was not enough to survive, so they had to mix it with grass and tree bark to make it last longer. There is a black market where people secretly buy and sell food, but if you are caught, you can be sent to prison or worse. In most countries, people are free to think what they want. They can criticize their leaders, read different books, and watch whatever movies they like. But in North Korea, your thoughts are controlled from birth. From the time you are a child, you are taught that the leader of the country is like a god. You are forced to memorize his speeches. Every house has a radio that cannot be turned off, which plays government messages all day long. All books, TV shows, and movies are controlled. There is no internet. You cannot read news from other countries. If you are caught watching a foreign movie, you can be executed. A teenager was caught watching a South Korean drama. What happened to him? He was killed in front of 10,000 people. His parents were sent to a prison camp for 15 years. Can you believe that? Being killed just for watching a TV show? In North Korea, there are secret police everywhere. Your neighbors, your coworkers, even your family members might report you. If someone reports you for saying something bad about the government, you can disappear overnight. People whisper even inside their own homes because they are afraid the government might be listening. One woman saw her neighbor taken away in the middle of the night. He was never seen again. His crime? Telling a joke about the leader. North Korea, your life is not your own. Everything is controlled, what you wear, what you eat, what you say, and even what you think. But this is just the beginning. There are even more shocking truths about daily life in this country. Let's continue. In every North Korean home, there must be 2 framed portraits hanging on the wall, one of Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea, and one of Kim Jong-il, his son who ruled after him. These portraits must be in perfect condition at all times. You are not allowed to decorate them. You cannot put any other pictures on the same wall. Every morning, families must clean these portraits carefully. The government even sends inspectors to check if the portraits are clean. And if there is a fire in your home, your first duty is not to save your family, your first duty is to save these portraits. There was a terrible fire in one family's home. The father ran to save his little daughter but forgot to take the portraits first. The next day, the government arrested him. His crime? Not protecting the leader's pictures. North Koreans work long hours every single day. But do they earn enough to live? No. The average monthly salary in North Korea is just $3 to $5. Yes, you heard that right, $3 to $5 per month. This is not enough to buy food for even 1 week. People survive by secretly working in black markets, illegal markets where they can buy and sell food, clothes, and goods. But if they are caught, they can lose everything, their food, their money, even their freedom. One man worked extra hours in a factory and saved some money. He used this money to buy rice from a black market. But when he was caught, the police took all his money and sent him to a labor camp. North Korea has prison camps where people are sent if they break the rules, even tiny crimes. But these prisons are worse than any nightmare. Prisoners are given almost no food, just a few grains of rice and some dirty soup every day. This is not enough to survive, so what do? They catch rats, frogs, and insects to eat. Some even eat grass and tree bark just to stay alive. One former prisoner said he saw people fighting over a single dead rat because they had nothing else to eat. Another prisoner was caught trying to eat grass. The guards punished him by beating him so badly that he almost died. North Korea has a population of around 26 million people, but more than 40% of them do not have enough food. In the 1990s, there was a huge famine in North Korea. Millions of people died of hunger because the government refused to give them food. Parents were forced to watch their own children starve to death. But at the same time, the government was spending billions of dollars on weapons, luxury goods, and grand buildings. Kim Jong-un, the current leader, has a private island, luxury cars, and even his own personal movie theater, while his people are starving. A man who escaped from North Korea said, "The leader eats steak and drinks expensive wine, while children in my village were eating grass and dying on the streets." In most countries, if you want to visit another city, you just buy a bus or train ticket and go. But in North Korea, you cannot travel freely. You need permission from the government to go from one city to another. Leaving the country is impossible. The borders are heavily guarded. If you try to escape, you will be killed. One woman tried to escape with her little son. She paid smugglers to help her cross the river into China. But before she could escape, the guards caught her. She was killed in front of a crowd. Her son was sent to a prison camp. In most countries, if you break the law, only you will be punished. But in North Korea, your entire family will suffer. This is called 3 generations of punishment. If you commit a crime, the government will not only punish you, they will also punish your parents, your siblings, and even your children. One man was caught listening to foreign music. He was sent to a prison camp for 20 years. But his parents and younger brother were also sent to prison, just because they were related to him. Another man escaped to South Korea. When the government found out, they arrested his entire family, even his grandmother. Can you imagine that? Your family suffering for something you did. They control the internet, TV, and books. In most countries, people can watch movies, listen to music, and read books from all over the world. But in North Korea, the government controls everything. There is no real internet. People cannot use Google, YouTube, or social media. They can only see government-approved websites. TV channels show propaganda all day long. Books are censored. Reading foreign books is illegal. One young man was caught with a South Korean music video on his USB drive. His punishment was death. You have now learned shocking truths about North Korea. How people live in fear. How they work for almost nothing. How prisoners eat rats to survive. How the leader controls everything. How public executions keep people terrified. How Kim Jong-un pretends to be a god and even kills his own family. but now I will reveal the most dangerous and shocking truths. The secret tunnels and underground networks helping people escape. What the world is doing. And why some countries don't want North Korea to change. The biggest secret that North Korea is hiding from the world. But I will pause here. Let me know if you want the next part, write in the comments. See you in the next part. But I will pause here. Let me know if you want the next part, where I add proper punctuation to the rest of this shocking story. If you like, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe my channel. Thank you.